What is going on? Oh, Anthony's doing fancy things over there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Do a Podcast.
That is the name of the podcast. I had to think about that for a second.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Anthony.
And, man, welcome to a hot day.
So hot.
It's so hot right now. Oh, geez. That's all I can feel right now. I'm sweating. We have...
Yeah, it's like today's movie is The Night Eats the World. I think in Texas is The Heat Eats the World. The Sun Eats the World. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like, we even have, like, ACs down low. We have fans blowing in here, and, like, I feel like it's not doing anything. But, anyways, guys, welcome to today's episode. We promised that we were going to do a stout. I know it's an episode late, but we're doing it still. So get over it,
Doing it.
Because I got a lot of bottles from 903 because me and the Strike Up Beer guys went to their barrel age fest like forever ago. And I was like, all right, Anthony, we got to start going through these. I know it's summer. But
it's so hot out.
We didn't go through these whenever it was actually cold outside.
I'm gonna break a sweat just like stepping out of this room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already sweating in this room, so I guess let's crack this open. Do you have the information on this guy or no?
So there's no description per se, but I will read from the bottle after I look at the untapped entry. So so what we're drinking is the barrel aged Cracking Up Pecan Porter from 903 Brewers.
Jeez.
It's a Imperial Porter double. It's got a 9% ABV. It's got a rating of 3.99 on Untapped. Flavor profile is nutty, barrel aged, pecan, of course, boozy, and roasty. So it's kind of like a coffee porter. So this is a version of their Cracking Up porter, which is, I think it's actually just a coffee porter, I believe.
I think so.
It's the original does have pecans as well, but this is the barrel aged variant, I guess. But yeah, it's about actually the barrel aged variant has got a bit higher rating than the standard. The standard is 3.7. This is 3.99.
So yeah, it says limited edition. I think you said all that. Pairs with smoked meats, pecan butter cups, and good laughs.
Man, I need some of the smoked meats.
Yeah. So if you want to look at the bottle, and you can see it on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Where's the GoPro going?
Instagram. If it works.
Yeah. So we're
going to see it, but it's there.
Yeah, we're attempting it, but
unless you're watching the Instagram feed, then you'll know that you're watching the GoPro feed and not the other feed. So
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
We're trying technology.
You know what? We're shooting our shot. We'll see what happens. I guess that's what she said.
This is literally my first time using the GoPro, and I've had it for like a month. So,
oh well.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I was so like urgent to get it, and then I didn't use it. So
man, I have a lot of stuff like that where it's just like I need this now, and then I'm like I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, it's like I feel bad.
I almost don't even want to take a sip of this. It smells delicious.
Let's see, let me get a whiff of this. It smells boozy. Smells roasty.
Ooh. Wow.
The reaction's not encouraging me.
Oof.
I feel like I can get the fumes off of this.
Yeah, you can feel it going down. That's what she said as well.
Here I go.
Let's all stare at them.
Notes of pecans.
Yeah.
Actually, it got a little bit of a chocolatey flavor to it.
Yeah, it's very pecan-y.
You made it sound much worse than it actually was. I was worried this was going to be like one of those thick, like double imperial Russian stouts.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. I like to see.
I was worried.
See, and that's how you got to do things.
That's why I was worried because you have some like stouts in your collection there, and I was like, you picked the porter. Good, I can deal with the porter.
Yeah,
no. Porter's a little bit less.
Whenever I was reading them this morning, because I was like, I'm gonna put, because normally you don't fridge these.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna put it in the fridge. I'm just gonna do it today. It's too hot to go even just to a straight like room temperature drink.
Yeah. So we're chilled.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Yeah.
start off chilled. And so whenever I was looking, I was like, let's do a porter. I'm not gonna do it. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. It's like there was like the last. I feel like I was drinking a lot of stouts, and then I got ruined for stouts a few years ago because there was like a one that Turning Point did with that was a brewery out of San Antonio.
Weathered Souls.
Yeah, Withered Souls. And I swear it was. I think they made it with marshmallows and chocolate and a bunch of other stuff. And I think it was like drinking like chocolate syrup,
Yeah.
and it was like so sweet, so so boozy. I think I got like drank half of it, and I was already like off my ass
Yeah.
buzz, and I was like, okay, I think I'm just gonna go to like IPAs all the time. And I've actually now I've like I feel like I've swung the other way. As like I used to drink like really strong stuff, and now I'm like swinging back towards now it's like so flipping hot outside. I'm like, all right, I just need a lager. So it's like I
Yeah.
need something that's close to water.
Yeah, that's honestly I kind of feel like I've been doing the same. Is like if I've gotten a beer, it's really light,
Yeah,
or it's gonna be like so. Yeah, it's either like a super light beer. It's just like let's go for like the triple IPA. It's like
yeah.
I'm either gonna go one way or the other.
Yeah, it's like there's a couple of breweries now that put out some of their like skinny IPAs. And I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm drinking some of those. Like the community their skinny IPA. It's
I
like
haven't had that yet.
it's I was surprised.
I really
It's
want
like it
to.
tastes like just a regular American style like a American IPA.
Hmm.
Which I mean, I'm not a huge fan of those, but this was like it's light enough that it's not got like that profile that I really don't care for in that. So
Yeah,
it's like if Mick Ultra were an IPA, that would be it.
interesting.
But I'm a fan of Mick Ultra. Judge me if you will. So
I've actually not had it, so I don't know.
Mick Ultra,
Yeah.
people give it hate, but
People hate on everything. I mean, listen, I don't mind a good Coors Light. Just kidding. I hate Coors Light. Uh,
yeah, I don't like
I
Coors
can't
Light.
do Coors, but I do enjoy a Miller every once in a while. Like, I mean, I don't mind these beers,
Hmm.
but I mean, yeah, some of these people are like, if it's not craft, it's crap. I'm like, calm down.
It's
Can we just calm down? Can't we
some,
just appreciate a beer for a beer?
sometimes you just need to drink something because you're thirsty.
Yeah, like let's chill out here, please. So all right, let's knock into some of these events coming up.
Event time, event time. We are doing event time.
I need a little theme
Boom.
song. There we go. I'm gonna just yeah, I'll just edit my voice out
Mm.
and have that and push that button.
Like now in the news, we have events for beer events, beer events,
The beer events.
beer events.
So the Belgian beer tasting at the Ginger Man.
Have you ever like done like a Belgian only like beer? I know you and I have had like stuff from what's the company with the pink elephant?
Yeah, Elysium. No,
Delirium.
Delirium.
Yeah.
Delirium.
They have some pretty good stuff. They're not my favorite Belgian though. But there are some like really good Belgian beers out there. Get some good triples, some good oh man. I I have some friends who own a brewery down in Florida. They do exclusively Belgian beers in their bar.
Ooh.
I actually had my wedding reception there
Oh,
when I
nice.
got married. Uh, but Belgian beers, I was like skeptical, but Belgian beers are where it's at. They're really good.
I do like a good Belgian. That's
Yeah.
for sure. And then when we have beer dinner with smoke and bone barbecue over at Turning Point.
Mm-hmm.
We have the All Star Craft Beer Wine and Cocktail Festival at Global Life Field on the 30th.
And I guess the Rangers aren't playing.
Guess not. Ooh, and Slushy Fest over at
Slushy Fest. I see a
903.
few fests on the schedule here.
Yeah, that's on the 30th.
I may need to make my way out to Sherman for that.
Oh, geez. The Beer World 90s theme party at Brutal on the 30th. IPA Fest
I definitely am going to this.
at Tups. Huh.
Yeah, you will see me there. I need to see if I need to buy tickets for that.
Yeah, we'll look into that guy because I'm very interested. I mean, he's wearing Tups right now. We love Tups around here, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's been a while since we've done them on the show, but we love us some Tups.
yes, we do. Then that's going to late August. So I guess that's I know we already talked about this. At this point, I'm pretty sure it's already over with by the time this comes out. But Grizzle Fest, Martin House, where
Grizzlefest.
they're releasing their hot dog seltzer.
Oh God. I've heard them talk about this. They're making it with
It's
real
real.
hot dogs.
Yeah, it's real. It's all real.
There's got to be like so much sodium in that, so much sodium and so many sulfites in there.
Yeah, I don't understand. Oh, so for the IPA fest, you do have to get tickets.
All right, I got to do that. That'll be like right
$25.
after I come back from vacation.
Oh yeah, they have a list of all
Cups IPA, Evil Dankster, Alpha Drop, my personal favorite.
Oh geez, more to be announced. Tickets include a taster card for 8 5-ounce pours, plus a festival taster glass and neck lanyard koozie, so you can nerd out on all the IPAs.
Yeah, that's where that is going to be where it's at. I will say there's one event on there. I'm surprised it's not on there. But at Turning Point on July 22nd, if you like the same kind of music I did and you grew up in the early 2000s, they have Elder Emo Night on July 22nd. I may make my way to this because I was like all into like Dashboard Confessional and was that Taking Back Sunday and all those bands when I was back when I was in high school and when I was first starting college. And so like it's a good chance to like put on your eyeliner, wear all your old bracelets, wear a black t-shirt, ripped jeans, all that stuff, and just look all sullen. Like
nice.
Yeah. So that if you want to see some older, like some people approaching their 40s dressed like they were when they were in high school, that'll be a place to go. It may be entertaining for those of you who want to see some historical reenactment.
Yeah, I might just go and just watch. Like, I mean, we could dress up, but that's a lot of work.
Hawthorne Heights, I was also a big fan of those guys.
So those are the events for the rest of July, and I think I might have said no. I didn't say any for January. No,
we said some for August.
Yeah, I said the August because that's the IPA fest.
If you didn't mention it, I was going to mention it. So
yeah. I mean, so some good stuff coming up. I mean, IPA festival. Yeah, I really want to go to that.
Yeah,
I'll have to make sure we are free so we can both go. That'd be fun.
Nice.
I guess let's get on to the movie.
This movie.
Let's get on to this movie.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, we watched the movie, the zombie film.
The Night Eats the World.
The Night Eats the World. It's a 2018 horror thriller, survival thriller. I feel like. But here we go. Here's the description of the movie. So after waking up in an apartment the night after a raging party, Sam comes face to face with his new reality. An army of zombies has invaded the streets of Paris, and he is one of the lone survivors. Petrified with fear, he barricades himself in the building to survive. He wonders how long can he last in silence and solitude, and the answer comes when he learns he's not all alone after all. Dun dun dun.
Yep. That's the movie.
Yeah, basically. There's a little bit of a twist at the ending. I don't know if we want to spoil it or not. We may spoil it. So
we spoil things here.
Yeah, we do spoil things.
Yeah.
But I will say, for the most, aside from people who were like playing the zombies, there's like 2 actors for the majority of the movie.
Yeah.
Aside from the party goers, and aside from the zombies, there's like 2 actors who are basically not zombies the entire for most of the movie.
Yeah.
We have Sam, who is our main character. We're with him the entirety of the movie, and then we have Sarah, who we meet in the latter portion of the movie. It's Sarah, and then there's like imaginary Sarah, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then
that's wild.
And then Fanny, who is Sam's ex-girlfriend, is what I got. How I interpreted that. And then a few others. Like one of the other main actors is like he's a zombie who's stuck in an elevator.
Yeah,
which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was Alfred. I think was an interesting character.
Yeah,
but yeah, this movie. So luckily, we're recording this later than what we originally planned for this episode. So Anthony Arias is like, it's just not
memory
what I thought.
Is hazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just watched it like a few days ago, but like he undersold it for me, which I think helped me enjoy the movie more.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if we should do this one.
Yeah.
This one kind of goes a little bit. This one kind of goes a little slower than our usual stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a slow paced movie, but at the same time, again, it kept my interest.
Good.
It really did.
Because I need to undersell lots of movies.
He he starts going crazy, but at the same time, you don't know if he's going crazy.
It's like it's the standard like unreliable narrator thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the way they did it was so good to the point where you believe what's happening, and then all of a sudden, like he would like just all of a sudden snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
yeah,
Um, and like even you're like, oh shit, wait, that wasn't real. Like,
right, right, right.
and that happens a couple of times
It was
in
like
this movie.
there was like one or two times where I was like, okay, what is real and what's not real at this point?
Yeah, yeah, and because yeah, he would do things where you're just like, is this him losing his mind in his mind, or is he actually like doing this shit right now?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think he did a great job pretty much being the only real actor, and not real actor, but the only person that like has lines
Yeah,
and
he carries the entire movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything's focused on this one person. Even though Sarah is, she comes in at a point, she's still, and in my opinion, like a side character,
Yeah.
even though
Yeah,
she's a
you
major
don't
part.
learn too much about her
Yeah.
because he doesn't know too much about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
He only knows one thing about her.
and
Oh,
that's it.
I would say two things about her.
Well, yeah.
And spoilers start here. He knows two things about her. One, that she's not a zombie, and two, she's got a gut full of buckshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like man, he really carried this movie. I think he did a great job at it.
Oh yeah.
So, um,
I gotta say, he probably did as well as any normal human being would. I feel like that was a pretty realistic representation of somebody who just got really immensely lucky at the start of the zombie epidemic,
yeah.
and then managed to kind of secure himself, and then just try to survive in this apartment building off of what was in the building.
Some of me really wonder, like watching that made me think, would I even last this long? Like, I think, like,
Like if you were given like this fortunate of start that he had.
yeah, and it's just like more of like mentally, would I be able to like handle everything being alone as much as he was? Just like everything that happens, like, I don't know if mentally I could handle everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't leave, especially because he has, you know, almost this fortress type apartment.
Yeah.
Uh
That has no like roof access to any other buildings, which makes me wonder how Sarah got there.
yeah.
She tells him she hops roofs, but that
He
was
can't,
also not Sarah.
yeah.
So
And she couldn't. Like it seems like every other apartment building you could, except for this one that he's on.
the one he goes for, yeah.
Which I'm just like,
Maybe he just had to make a really, really quick decision because he was being chased.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't get to see the whole layout of the roof. So maybe there was one where
Yeah, we saw that one angle.
yeah, and so maybe
Basically.
he was just like, fuck, I'm gonna go for it and
Yeah.
knocks himself out. But anyways.
But yeah, so like we've kind of danced around it, but like yeah, this whole thing is like the zombie apocalypse starts. He's like going over to his girlfriend's to get like these tapes. Apparently he uses the tapes to make like his little avant-garde music
Mhm.
with noise, like making noise with everyday objects. He's like basically like Blue Man Group, but like one dude. It's a Blue Man dude. But basically the zombie apocalypse starts. He like falls asleep waiting for his ex-girlfriend to come give him the tapes. He falls asleep in another room. He locks the door because people were drunk and like kind of bouncing around. He just kind of like locked the door so people would leave him alone. And then he passes out, like just falls asleep in there. Uh, I don't know why. I don't understand why he fell asleep in there because it wasn't
Yeah.
like he didn't drink any. I mean, he did appear to have been at the party for a while, waiting for his ex girlfriend to kind of like finally come back.
Yeah.
But I was just like, who just passes out for like what appears to be like 8 hours,
I
maybe?
mean, I felt like it might have been a whole day
Yeah.
just because of like how extreme it was.
I also think I would have been waken up by the screams of the people getting
Yeah.
killed in the other room.
Yeah. How do you sleep through screamings, gunshots?
Yeah.
I mean, just like all this noise, and he's just like asleep.
Yeah.
Like what?
But yeah, but basically we get into that. He wakes up. There are still zombies in the building, but he manages to clear the building. And then he's basically on a survival kick for the rest of the time until he meets Sarah. And when he meets Sarah, he doesn't know what's coming in the building. He just knows something's in the building. He fires his gun through the door and shoots Sarah in the gut. We then see Sarah recover. And they have serious conversations about getting out because she's just like stays in one place and keeps moving. And he actually also did something where he attracted a lot of zombies to the building, and they're gonna basically break in at any minute. But then we see that Sarah is actually dead. She never actually survived the gut shot.
Yeah.
The gut shot with the shotgun.
All in his head.
Yeah. But the zombies break in because he sets fire to the building and does a couple other loud things, and he escapes.
Yeah. I so the thing that I like too is like the thought process that they even put into before she shows up and he shoots, of like why he just shot instead of asked,
Well, yeah, because there was
because
like a
he
few
had a
times where he had the
dream.
dreams
Yeah.
about like the zombies breaking in and killing him.
Yeah, he had the dream. He had dreams of the exact same scenario. He hesitated and yelled, "Who's there?" And they zombies busted the door and like ate him
Yeah.
alive. So
So he thinks he may be dreaming again, but he's like,
that's
gotta
the
be quick
thing,
on the
is like
trigger this
he's
time.
like, either way, like if I'm asleep or not, I just got to shoot, because in the past, whenever I didn't shoot, I got eaten alive.
Yeah.
So I thought
It's
that
like
was
he,
really
yeah,
interesting.
because I was thinking to myself, well, why wouldn't she have made noise to like see if somebody was there? But then like if there's zombies in the building, then they hear you. It was dark. You don't want to fight zombies in the dark.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Where
But she did
like
know that he was in the building.
that's my problem. I think is like she had pictures of him in the building on that floor. Like she stalked the crap out of this guy,
Yeah.
and so she knew he was there.
Hmm.
Now, granted, we don't know if she saw him that day, maybe, or if this was a planned out thing and she just went for it. So, I mean, it could have been like, I don't want to make noise just in case he is a zombie all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like I would have just been, especially, where it's just free range. I'm gonna be like, hey, human walking in.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say if there was a dude walking around a building, I could probably guess that there's no zombies in that building.
yeah,
Or if there are zombies in there, they're like locked away.
yeah,
Um, and basically I'd be like, "Hello, hello, hello." But I can see also being abundantly careful if you've survived this far into the zombie apocalypse.
for sure.
So I can see it. I can see it both ways.
Yeah, I couldn't too.
And there's no guarantee that somebody will be friendly. We've seen enough apocalypse movies where you think you go in like, "Oh, you're a human, I'm a human, we're great," and the guy's like, "Nope, I want to kill you and steal your resources." So
Yep. All right. So unless, is there anything else before we move on to the likes, dislikes?
yeah, what did we like and what did we dislike about this movie?
So let's start off with the dislike, which I pretty much already touched on. That's why I was just like, let's move into it, which is the whole scenario with Sarah, alive Sarah, that whole interaction.
The imaginary Sarah?
Yeah, like the whole, I don't know, like that bugged me, that she stalked him, she planned this out, she did all this work, she busted her ass to finally go over to be with this guy because they're both humans, and like she got herself shot.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I just, again, just thinking about like how I would do it, because it really seems like she stalked him for a long time. So she already kind of knew that he was friendly, because like he wanted to help out the cat. He wanted to, like, I don't know, just like the few things that made it seem at least like he is a friendly person.
Yeah.
So it's just like, so if she was watching him this whole time and she walks in sneaking around, I mean, a lot of my thought too was like, maybe she wasn't there to be friendly, maybe she was there to steal his shit.
That's quite possible too. We don't
So
know. I am curious. So we do see at one point we see somebody reach into curtains in the building across the street. I'm curious if that was her in the other
I
building.
wondered that too.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. Like, I mean, I get it. I know why they did that, but at the same time, it's just like Sarah was really stupid the way that she did it, in my opinion. Because even if they're going to kill her, more than likely they're going to, like, he would be like, oh, pretty much find out if she has more supplies over there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it'd be more than just like, I'm just gonna flat out kill you no matter what happens. It's gonna just be like, hey, let's see if we can make this work, or I'm gonna steal all your shit. I don't know. So to me, that's really the one thing that I think I dislike most about this is like that whole scenario. But I do like the imaginary Sarah scenario. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very wild.
He's like very much he's very much imprinting what he thinks she would be on her, which I don't think it's a realistic interpretation of her.
No.
It's I mean I'm pretty sure we get enough clues as to who she is that his imaginary version of Sarah is not anything like the real Sarah.
Yeah. And I mean, and again, they did it in a way where you didn't know. You really thought somehow she pulled through, and they're having these days and nights just that's the crazy part. Is like it makes it seem like days goes by,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden he like looks into the room where she died in, walks in, and like you're like, "Oh, wait,
Yeah,
what?
you see a corpse just
She's
kind of laying
dead?"
on this like inflatable air mattress. Yeah.
Yeah, ugh, that was so weird. It was weird, and I liked it though.
Hey, at least it's not going by Walking Dead rules where somebody dies and they turn into a zombie, whether they were bitten or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did wonder once that happened. I was just like, "Ooh." Well, of course, whenever the old man shot himself, well, he blew out his brains, but I did kind of wonder the whole like, well, she died from, stuff like, well, in the chest. So is she going to come back a zombie? So I almost like that she didn't.
Yeah, it gave it a little more weight because it would have there was we got that kind of scene a little bit later when he set fire to the what was it as to his tapes.
Hmm.
Yeah, which I kind of understood. It was like as a little bit of symbology or symbolism. It's like he's letting go of the past a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah.
All right. So what did you dislike the most?
Oh man, so what I disliked the most was and, so, like, I would wanna say what I would wanna say is that I kind of dislike the trailer for this because it kinda set my expectations a little,
Mm,
askew a little bit for what this movie would be. This is a good movie on its merits, but since I came in, like, with this, like, other like, if you went into Titanic thinking it was, like, an action movie, and it's really not an action movie. It's like this love story. It's a good movie, like on its own merits. But if you went in thinking it was gonna be like this rousing, like swashbuckling epic about people surviving like the Titanic, you'd be disappointed. And so
yeah.
the trailer it gives a little bit more indication. It kind of goes more towards those a little more action oriented elements, the few that
Okay.
there are in this movie, and it doesn't really lean into the psychological like the psychological study of somebody being like in living like a solitary existence in this kind of scenario. It doesn't really focus on that, and so my expectations going in were just like different from what the movie was going to provide, and so I don't think I was able to view the movie objectively on its own merits. I may need to go
Hmm.
back and watch it again now that I know what I'm looking for here. But that was the thing I really didn't care for with this movie because I was just like, "What is this?" Like, this is not what I thought it would be. So
Is this a center
I
for
think it,
ants?
yeah, I thought it would be more of the Living Dead type variety.
Okay.
Yeah, and it really wasn't that.
Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer, so
Yeah, it's like or one of those of the Dead movies, like Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead or something like basically like one of those Romero movies.
yeah, it seems like one of your
Yeah,
classic zombie
yeah, and
movies. Oh,
it wasn't that.
okay.
It goes more towards, but not really, but more towards your 28 days later, your 28 weeks later. But it takes it another step further away from like the action oriented elements and
Mhm.
more towards focusing on the survivors. And the basically and this goes skews more towards as we mentioned earlier, more towards what a realistic response would be to this type of thing. And I feel like this movie came out in 2018, and I feel like you could, if this came out afterwards, I feel like you could, and I think we'll get movies like this, where we'll kind of see that response drawn similarities, or I'm sorry, parallels between the zombie apocalypse and COVID and the
Yes.
lockdowns and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And I feel like you can draw those similarities between people's response to the pandemic in real life and
Yeah.
people's response to a zombie epidemic would be. And I think that'd be really interesting to see. Which I think I've complained about this particular film in this on this podcast a few times, but World War Z.
Yeah.
And if you read the book, it kind of has some of those things where there's like zombie design deniers, and kind of hits on that psychological element of people denying that a particular problem is existing, and it's
Yeah.
like it happens in real life with
Yeah, it
COVID.
does.
But I think this kind of skews towards that, whereas like somebody's on lockdown and they're just like trying to survive at this point.
Have you
Yeah.
seen Don't Look Up?
Yes.
Ugh,
Yeah.
how's that feel?
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. So I mean, I
But like the
do
trailers, I feel like the marketing for the movie just really
missed it.
misaligned my expectation.
They missed it.
Yeah.
Which I mean, if you've watched and listened to the show long enough, you know how we feel if a trailer does not match the movie. Because how many times have we had that where we watch a movie because of the trailer, and then we watch the movie and we're like, this is awful. This is nothing like the trailer. Like the Christmas one.
Oh, is it Sleigh Bells?
Sleigh Bells.
Yeah.
Trailer looks great. Movie was
It
the worst.
It's like the trailer was a compilation of all the best parts of the movie.
Yes. Oh, geez. And
But-
I mean, we've seen a lot of those, and it's like it's the marketing.
But here's the thing. They could still interpret this as a success because they got what they wanted. They got my eyes on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so, or if this was in the theater, they got my butt in the seat. I'm not getting a refund for that. They're still going to get their money, whether I like the movie or not. So,
They took my time.
yeah.
All
All I
right.
can do is like try to review bomb it, which
I mean, yeah. What did you like the most, Anthony?
So I loved the slow descent into like madness with Sam's character.
Yes.
He like started in like with the shock of like trying to like just react to like he doesn't realize there's zombies going on until like he like tries to poke his head out the door and he sees his ex-girlfriend on the stairwell. And then he like says her name. He's like to ask if she's okay. And then she and like two other people she's with just turn around like and then do that zombie noise. And then they run and he like basically slams the door closed. I don't know how he gets them all leave the building.
I don't remember.
I forget how he gets.
I was
everybody to
actually
leave
trying to
building.
think about that because I was like, how did he clear? Because I know
Those are people just hanging around in the stairwell.
Yeah, and I know that there's like one room that he just like kills everybody in that room.
Yeah, the zombie family.
But
yeah.
that wasn't. I don't remember how he got rid of the stairwell people. Zombies.
Yeah, that was towards the beginning of the movie. So and I did watch this over 7 days ago. So
7 years ago.
7 years ago. It feels that long. He kind of like starts in that point there. It's like it's kind of going like the stages of grief because he's like he does like denial, and so on and so forth. I don't remember the rest of the steps. But he like tries to bring some normalcy back when he like tries to clean it because there's like blood all over the floors and everything. So he's like going and scrubbing the floors, and then he realizes he needs food. And at this point, like the water is still working in the city, and so he's still like kind of like using like hot water and stuff like that. And he's still got electricity and power, but he loses electricity and then he loses water.
Yeah.
But he's like cleaning the floors and he's just like trying to set up an existence at this point. He knows he can't leave because there's zombies all over the streets. But as things get worse and worse, you see him kind of like diving into like his hobbies, which is that creation of that like very avant-garde music. And he just kind of like focuses more and more and more on it. To the point where he doesn't really care about anything else except for like making sure he has food and like doing the music because like he's by himself. He's just kind of like losing touch with reality at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the full effect of that when we see him accidentally kill Sarah. He finally just totally dissociates from reality at that point because he the one thing he wanted was like another person to like be near him. He wanted to get back in touch with humanity, and his opportunity, he shot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's honestly, it's the exact same thing. It really is. And I feel like it's not that much of a shock compared to, since like at the beginning of us talking about this movie, like I just went on and on about it as well. I mean, he did such a fantastic job portraying the slow descent into madness.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly do think it's absolutely perfect. And I love the crazy routes that you go down. And then all of a sudden you're just like, no, that route wasn't even real. So we went through like we were going crazy with him.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, because we don't even know it's real at that point.
yeah, we really didn't. So I mean, really, I do think that's what I liked about this
Yeah.
movie the most. I really do, and I think it's hard not to like that about this movie.
Yeah, I will say honorable mention goes to Alfred for being and to Sam for reading Alfred the zombie's like motives, because he's like he tells imaginary Sarah that like, oh, don't worry about Alfred, he won't eat us. Like even if he gets out, he won't eat us. And he releases Alfred. Alfred just kind of shambles into his apartment and doesn't he could just turn and just like lunge into Sam. He doesn't. He just like is like, all right, I'm going back in my apartment. You just do whatever the hell you want. I've been stuck in that elevator for
Yeah,
over a year.
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
But I will say, this is not a complaint because it's part of the madness. But like when he does that whole drum thing, and then when he sets fire in the building, I was like, dude, that was so dumb. I know you're crazy, but man,
yeah, no, I said the same thing. Like, what the hell are you doing?
because he's like surprised. He's all of a sudden surprised that there's like a fire on like I don't think it was like setting the building on fire necessarily, but it's like causing the smoke alarms to go off, which attracts all the zombies to the building, and they finally beat the doors down, and then they just like invade the building.
Yeah,
Um, which he then has to use a grappling hook to get to one of the other buildings.
yeah,
Which man, that looked pretty brutal, swinging across and just like slamming into the other building.
yeah, it hurt to
Yeah,
watch,
because he just like tied the rope around his waist, and
and
he's
it
like,
just jumps.
it's like my spine. I feel like my spine would have broken in half doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So, cheers or party foul, Anthony?
I'd gotten back and forth on this, but after kind of talking through it with you, I think this would be a cheers for me. The qualities, the elements. Now that you put it in proper context, you know what to expect going to watch that movie.
Right.
It's a good movie on if it does what it means to do, and it does it in a very quality way. This is not a what you would call a bad movie by any means. This is actually a pretty quality movie. The production quality is good. The story is good. It's bare bones, but it does what it intends to do, and it does it very well. So it illustrates that just kind of that descent into like just losing like your touch with reality there. So I think it does it really well.
No, I mean, and I shouldn't be a shock, but yeah, it's definitely a cheers for me.
Yeah.
God, I would watch it again.
Yeah.
I
And I
gladly
will
would watch it again.
and I will say I did really enjoy so the two main actors, Anders Danielson Lai and Golshift, I'm butchering her first name, Golshift Farhani though. Golshift Farhani, she was if you watched Apple TV, she's in a show called Invasion. She's very good in that as well.
Mm.
So when I saw her on that, I was like, okay, they got like she's like gonna be like a quality character, and she was.
So there you go. Amazon Prime, right? Yeah, Amazon Prime. I say you give it a watch. I
Yeah.
really do. Don't watch the trailer first, I guess.
Yeah. Don't watch the trailer. It'll set your expectations a little differently.
But you give it a shot. If you watch it, let us know what
Yeah.
you think. Because yeah, I was happy. I finally got a movie that I was like, I like this movie. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll watch bad movies eventually again.
I'm not worried.
There are plenty of them out there.
There's so many of them. I mean, I feel like I've said this over and over again. I was just getting beat down because I was like, how long has it been since we got a movie that I'm like, I really like this movie? It's been so long. Finally. Cool. Do you have a thing of the week? Because I don't.
So my thing of the week is
I'll come up with something.
so my thing of the week is the season finale has just come out. I haven't watched it yet, but I've got watched up to the episode before the season finale of The Boys. If you
Mm,
haven't watched The Boys, it is a uber violent, very very bloody show about superheroes, and it's like superheroes and corporatism and people trying to like take down superheroes. It's like if that sounds like something interesting to you, it's like I highly recommend this show. It's funny. It is gruesome. Like it's got like horror levels of blood in this show. Like literally saw like a dude's dick blow up.
yeah.
In this. Do you watch that show?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not caught up, but
Okay. It's like first episode season 3, a dude's dick explodes. It's like, what the fuck?
jeez.
uh This season it's kind of like it kind of draws this analog to like a lot of like the political movements going on right now, but it's using like superheroes in kind of like the positions. So it's like it's really interesting. But and there's like they have the heroes that are like kind of like the Justice League, and you have another group of heroes that are kind of like the Avengers, but they were like around more like towards the 80s.
Mm.
Um, it's just really it seems really kind of like rooted in like present day like current events, but uses them as kind of like an allegory to kind of describe what things are going on using like this fictional environment. So I thought this season's really interesting. I'm really excited to see the finale. I've heard good things about it. So yeah, highly recommend. If you haven't seen The Boys, recommend season 1 and season 2. They're good. Season 3, at least up to what I've seen so far, very good as well. So um caution, caution, season 3, you do see a dude have sex with an octopus. So and you can probably guess who does that. So
Yeah.
yeah. So but that's my thing of the week is The Boys.
I don't know. I feel like I've probably talked about it. Have I talked on here about me watching Monk?
You may have mentioned it to me. Did you mention it last week? I don't know. You can talk about it again. Who cares?
Yeah. That's really all
You guys want to hear about and talk about Monk, right?
Yeah, right.
There we go.
I mean, if not, then get over it. That's all we're watching right now. I mean, the if I don't have things to do at night, then as soon as we sit down on the couch, we watch like a ton of Monk. We spent like all last weekend, except for
Yeah, it's not like there's a shortage of episodes.
8 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like what 24 episodes per season for that show,
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're on season 6.
Oh wow, you guys are like just like cutting through it. Yeah,
We have legit spent a whole weekend.
You guys should watch Psych after that.
Just going. I love Psych.
Yeah,
we blew through those too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't remember what it was, but all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I've never watched Monk, and my wife was like, really? I was like, yeah. So we were like, let's start it. We got nothing else.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it to death. It's so funny. Sadly, there's a lot of things where I'm like, ooh, that's a little bit of me. Like, that's not good.
Yeah, Tony Shalhoub's really good in that show, though.
He does a great job. But yeah, so really, I mean, if I'm not working or getting things ready, like we've been just sitting there watching it. Like finally again yesterday, like we were just watching all day. I think it was like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We're like, let's get up and go do something. Let's get out of the house. Like we should probably go, go touch some grass. So yeah, I mean, honestly, that's my thing of the week. If you haven't seen Monk, I recommend you start it. It is really good. The first season, of course, I feel like most first seasons aren't always the best.
Still trying to find their footing, yeah.
But I still feel like after what was it, like episode 4 or 5, it got really good even on the first season. So so that's my thing of the week.
Yeah.
So
even Parks and Rec season 1 was bad. So
it is bad. It's pretty funny to watch now though. To go back and watch it, like, why did I keep watching this?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad they got picked up for another season, but man, they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah. So those are our things of the week. What do you think about this beer?
Man, this beer is it's a porter.
It's a porter.
It's a porter.
It is a porter.
It's a quality porter there. It is what it describes itself to be. It's got those elements. I didn't think the pecan flavor was all that strong. But the other flavors there, like that kind of like smooth, kind of velvety chocolate flavor. It did have that roasted quality there, but I felt like it was like it bent more towards like a coffee flavor and less towards like a nutty pecan flavor.
Right.
But I would give this one a 3.5.
Okay.
3.7 maybe.
I would I'm
in the high 3s.
I'm doing a 3.5 for me, but I'm pretty much agree with what you said. I feel like you smell the pecan more than you actually taste the pecan. But yeah, I mean,
there are other pecan porters out. If you just like to love the flavor of pecan, there are other pecan porters out there that are like way more pecan-y.
Yeah.
So to speak. But this is good. It's just not really that strong in that department.
Yeah. No,
in my opinion.
No, I completely agree. Yeah, so there's that, which I mean, it was still a good beer. Obviously,
Oh, yes,
we
yes.
drank it. So,
Yeah, we
um,
killed it. So
yeah, I guess let's wrap this up. Oh, I just hit the table. My bad. So you can listen to us at Let's Do a Podcast on any platform that you listen to podcasts. If we're not there, hit me up because we should be.
yeah.
Um,
You can find us on Let's Do a Podcast on Facebook. You can find us on Let's Instapod at Let's Instapod on Instagram, where you can hopefully watch us there as well. You can find us at on Twitter at Let's Tweet a Pod, on Twitch
mhm.
at is it Let's Do a Podcast
Partycast Network.
Partycast Network. I never get that one right.
Partycast
what other
Network.
places can we be found?
So Partycast Network, you can find us there on the Facebook, on the Twitters, and on the Twitches.
Yep, we find all our brother podcasts out there.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. If there's any beer you want us to drink, let us know. If there's any movies you want us to watch, let us know. Till then, we will see you guys. Let's end up podcast. Let's end it. Oh, this is awkward. I have to end it this way for my laptop. You guys get a long music outro.